Hello, my beautiful rock stars. It's your girl Rocqi, your revolutionary hippie from LifeIsRocqi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and watch my long form content that's any video over a minute to help me get monetized. All right, so today on my Mommy Fever series, make sure you check out that playlist. Got plenty of good content in there. And definitely check out my previous videos, breastfeeding and bed sharing, as well as my childbirth experience. I'll put them in the link above, but it's been messing up, so for sure be at the end of the video. And also this may be a part 1, part 2. We'll see by the time we get to the end of it. My baby is not going down for a nap with her father, so we'll see if she needs me. but we'll see. I also don't know how long this is about to be, so it could be a part 2 just because of the length. But I wanted to really reflect on my postpartum journey, y'all, because I felt like I was not prepared. Now, if you look at my other videos, my other Mommy Fever videos, like, bruh, I've been preparing for this day, for pregnancy, for childbirth, but I did not prepare for postpartum. And I felt unprepared. I felt prepared for pregnancy. I felt prepared for childbirth. The pain of childbirth I felt prepared for. But for postpartum, it was another story. Okay. Now, I did just have this conversation with my therapist who does specialize in perinatal mood disorders. That she did give me some knowledge of like the baby blues and stuff. But either I was so positive I wasn't taking it serious, or I didn't have the understanding to make that knowledge a reality. So I'm going to try to give y'all the real so you can understand. This shit is hard, okay? Now, of course, I'm a breastfeeding mama, so my journey is going to be different than if you are solely or exclusively formula feeding. But this is my journey. Hopefully it's a word of caution for everybody else. I just got hungry randomly. We'll see if I can make it through. All right, so just a reminder, postpartum is like up to 2 years, but usually it's referenced as those first 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm gonna just relive it all with you all, and let's make sure we're good. Okay. So when I got home, I was still bleeding a lot. Definitely check out my DIY what are they called? Postpartum pads, I guess. Check those out. It's one of the videos in my Mommy Fever playlist. Those were very helpful, especially because I soaked the pad with aloe vera juice versus like, or no, the witch hazel pads. It was witch hazel. I soaked it with witch hazel versus like having the witch hazel pads, because the witch hazel pads would fall off. So soaking the pad just made it more maneuverable. But definitely get yourself some diapers. Like, one, I had no control over the lower half of me. Like, now remember, I had a vaginal birth, no meds. But yeah, like there was one time my husband went out to the store or something. He was only gone for like an hour, but he was helping me go to the bathroom. And that was the biggest, like, I gotta surrender my independent self part of this journey. It's like I couldn't go to the bathroom for myself. I couldn't shower by myself. I couldn't even feed myself because I was still getting used to breastfeeding. So I'll talk about that in a little bit too. But yeah, it it was a thing. So there was one time, yeah, he went out to the store and I had to go to the bathroom. So I was trying to make it there before he got home. And again, I have no control over my bowels. So I was like halfway there and I was like, well, it's happening. And it was just peed on myself. Because it was like, you know how you can hold it? I didn't have the capacity to hold it anymore. The muscle feature was gone. Now, of course, that went away. I regained my muscles over the next few days, but that shit was hilarious. And the fact that, geez, thank my husband. He was helping me with the pooping, with the perinatal bottle, and stuff. It was, yo, find yourself a partner. But yeah, the lack of independence was a real struggle for me, specifically not being able to feed myself. Like somebody spoon feeding me. And it's not even like it's our wedding day, let's feed each other cake. It's not even that part. It's the fact that I want to and I can't. You know, like I want to be able to feed myself and I can't. I want to be able to shower by myself and I can't. I want to be able to go to the bathroom by myself and I can't. Like that shit was such like a mental fuck. Like it was like, bruh, I was not ready for this piece. Okay. Now as far as my bleeding, I think it was like 2 solid weeks and then start tapering off by the 3rd. And then by the 4th week postpartum, mine was completely gone. And then it kind of came back for a few days the week after that. But yeah, but by 6 weeks, it was totally done for me. That's not the case for everybody. Everybody has a different story, but that was my case. And then again, I had a diaper plus the postpartum pads that I created. And that was really helpful. One thing I did not account for, because I realized it when I went for the pediatrician, was I had the diaper on there and I went to the bathroom and I was like, fuck, I'm glad I have this pad and it didn't soak through, because I would have had to change this whole diaper in a public restroom. That meant I had to take off my pants. It would have been a lot. And get yourself some comfy sweats and like get your mom wardrobe on, because the fact that you were just covered in shit repeatedly, like I have been shitted on, I've been peed on, I've been spit up on, like I'm just covered in stuff every day. So get some stuff that you feel cute in, because cute and comfy, that's the mom wardrobe. You need to be cute but functional, okay? And have a lot of tops, because the amount of stuff and then make sure you shower too. Like that was one of the biggest things with breastfeeding. So I guess I'll talk about that now. So breastfeeding, discovering how to like latch her and how to make sure she's good caused a lot of insecurity for me. And I didn't talk about this in the breastfeeding video. That's because she was awake and I was trying to speed through that. But let me get some water. Like the latching I was very insecure about that. The amount of time she had to feed, because she was cluster feeding. So that's every hour on the hour, which is a lot when you have not slept. Like I knew prior to pregnancy, I was not a nice person when I didn't get my sleep. So like the fact that not only am I not able to sleep through the night, I don't get caught up during the day. Like before I had my baby, I was like, oh, I'll sleep when she sleeps. She's hardly ever sleeping. And it's like, and she's feeding and I'm tired. And then I don't even like it. You don't get sleep. I thought I was going to be able to get sleep, but even the sleep that I did get wasn't comfortable. Like I have a backrest, so I was sitting up with her feeding. Now that's a whole other story as far as safe sleep. Check out the best breastfeeding and bed sharing video, and I'm gonna make another video about how to safely bed share. But yeah, I wasn't comfortably sleeping. I wasn't able to recharge. So that plus my baby's crying and I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know if I'm feeding her enough. And then the doctors were saying like they were concerned about her weight gain. So that's throwing more insecurity on me. So that was just a lot to be like, I carried my baby, I birthed my baby, but I can't feed my baby. Again, another mental fuck, right? And I can say now at 11 weeks postpartum, I'm confident in my ability to breastfeed my baby. Like I'd be like, just pop the titty in. And she be latching fine. Like she's had a beautiful latch since birth. So fortunate in that area. It was just getting used to it. So now that I am. So I would also say that's my biggest thing is like, this is new. It will become a norm, right? But it is new. So you have to get comfortable. Both you and your child have to get comfortable with each other, you know? So I definitely say that part. But it was rough. It was definitely rough. And then also I didn't know how to soothe my baby without my breast. Like my mom and my husband had to figure it out, right? But like I was just like, I guess she needs to feed. But it was like them first weeks, like I would just walk around my robe open, breasts out, because it's like I'm either leaking or she needs to be fed or I'm pumping. And I hated pumping. I despised pumping. I love the haka. Pumping, can't stand. Haka, great. But yeah. So it was, my nips were just always sore and they weren't able to recover type of thing. Breastfeeding is rough, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's committed to that journey. Cause bruh, I'm still on it. My baby got chunky, so there's reward. But Jesus. And I think one of the biggest things that nobody taught me before and would have been helpful is when your baby is crying, it's one of four things. They're either hungry, need to be burped, need to be changed, or they're fighting to go to sleep. Now it's that special fourth one. It's like, bruh, if you don't let your eyelids close and let sleep come to you, why you fighting it? And that's where you have to learn each other and how to soothe your baby. So your baby needs to learn how they need to be soothed to go to sleep. You need to learn how they need to be soothed to go to sleep. So yeah. And my mom was a whiz at it. I mean, she has, years of experiences plus her in-home daycare. But yeah, my husband and I were struggling and trying to get her to sleep when she was fighting it. When we checked off the first three and it was like, nah, she just fighting to go to sleep. So luckily we don't have those days as much anymore. We still have a couple sometimes, and her father definitely is the whiz, because he'll just walk with her and bounce her and sing to her. So when she's fighting sleep and I can't, nothing I'm doing is soothing her, then pass her off to him. So have yourself a support system. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's see what else. Hormones. Now, pregnancy hormones didn't really hit me as much. I know they do hit some other people, so they're more prepared for postpartum hormones. But my pregnancy hormones, like, all of my crying was valid reasons. So it wasn't like I was crying randomly at a dog food commercial. Like, it wasn't that. It was like stuff was going on in my life that was rough. But postpartum, man, I was taking something out the dryer, started hyperventilating and crying, and I was like, well, I guess these are the postpartum hormones. However, still justified, because it was about being overstimulated. Like when I took that thing out of the dryer, my baby started crying, and it was like, I don't have any time to myself. I don't have any time to myself. She always needs me. She needs me for food. She needs me for sleep. She needs me for comfort. She always needs me. And I can't have time for a shower, for a nap by myself comfortably, to eat, let alone actual self-care. I didn't have time for self-maintenance. And then when it was self-maintenance, it was rushed. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that I wouldn't have any time to myself. Meanwhile, my husband could go out and frolic. He had that freedom. And there was a lot of, this is unfair, a lot of resentment there. Because yeah, it was like, she needs me. Now I have since changed my perspective and being able to appreciate it in terms of I'm her home. I was her home for 9 months and I'm her home still. And actually I'm going to be the home her home for the rest of her life, even when she creates her home of her own. I'm her mom. She loves my voice, my warmth, the sound of my heartbeat, my blood, the feeling of my breath. She was in me for 9 months. She's going to be on me for 9 months plus. So that perspective change helped, but that was a mind fuck too. Like, I never have a break. That was rough. That was rough. And that's what led to the overstimulation. And it was like her crying and me not being able to get a break was leading to like, one, irritation and anger for sure. But it's also like my anxiety. It was like, I can't think. Like I don't have just a moment to myself. Like it was, I was touched out, sound out, if that's a thing, like with her crying. And it was just like, I don't have just a moment to think to myself, to be aware of what the hell I'm about to do, next. Like that shit was rough. It was really rough. But again, I started getting more confident with breastfeeding. Started gaining weight. We started figuring out latching. Started trying different breastfeeding positions. Definitely try those. Don't feel like you're limited to just one or two. Like the side-lying breast position allowed me to sleep because I'm laying next to her. And then when she started sleeping through the night, first it was 4 to 6 hours, then it was 6 to 8 hours. Now it's 10 to 12 hours. So I get to sleep. She still dream feeds, but she does it on her own. I don't have to wake her up. I know that's not everyone's baby, but. And dream feeding, for those who don't know, is when they feed while they're still asleep. But things are better now. But it was rough. And I was not prepared for how rough it was going to be. Emotionally, physically. And it's like now my husband and I were getting the hang of things. I'm becoming more confident. I'm getting more rest, which is definitely helpful. Like now I'm able to cook again. I'm able to clean because we have a bouncer chair. So I'll just sit her in that in the kitchen while I'm doing that stuff. I would like to wear her, but she hasn't really responded well to the Moby wrap. I want to back carry her, and actually I think that would be more useful for me doing stuff, especially cleaning, like washing dishes or cooking. I don't want her right there by the stove. So I think that will be helpful as well. But she enjoys just looking at me while I'm washing dishes or cooking. So being able to get back into that, because if you've been following my channel, I was a homemaker for a whole year. Well, no, I got pregnant last year, but I was a homemaker for a whole year before I had a child. So like I had a routine of cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and cleaning and running errands, and the fact that, and working, and the fact that I wasn't able to do any of it was also suffering a hit to my identity. It was like, I'm not just a mother. That's all I am right now. And that would come up too, because I would be like, I felt like all I did all day was just feed her. And my husband was like, that's your job right now, is to feed her. You are their only source of nutrition. Only source. That's your job. Right? And so now at 11 weeks, I feel like I'm getting back to my identity and the things that was a part of my routine prior. So again, I'm recording content. I've been able to cook dinners. I've been able to clean some. I can't wait till I can run an errand without her. Because running an errand with her is a whole fucking journey. We went to Target. Jesus. Like, she was, we walked to Target, which is about a 45-minute walk, which is a nice walk. We normally did it prior to having her. And then when we got there, she needed to feed. We changed her. She needed to feed again. And then that was before we even went shopping. So now we're shopping. And then she needed to feed mid-shop. And then she was asleep. So yeah, it was just, it took a lot longer to run that errand with her. So I would rather just run errands without her. But then last week or so, she started refusing her bottle, and I was like, oh no, we can't do this. Now, mind you, I've just been using the Haka like once or twice a week, and trying to build up a freezer stash, and then we can start using the bottle. So she took it today, and she took it yesterday. So it's repetition and consistency. Because it's like, I'm gonna need you to take this bottle so mommy can get a break. Thank you. But like, I would love to be able to grocery shop again so I can meal plan and like cook the dinners that I want to cook and stuff. Like, my husband, thank you. But just, you know, he's not really meal planning. So I would like to be able to do that. And then yeah, I'm just in a much better space where I'm proud to be a mama. I love being a mama. She's growing, and seeing her growth is amazing. Also, take pictures. Take pictures in the outfits, because they'll grow out of them and then like there's no more outfits. Like, oh my gosh, it was so heartbreaking when I was doing laundry when she moved to 0 to 3 from newborn. And I was like, this is so tiny. She was this tiny. And it's like, if I didn't have a picture in that outfit, I would never again. It's for the next baby, you know? So take pictures of your babies in their outfits. Because yeah, they will never be that small again. Okay. So yeah, watching her grow is beautiful. She's laughing and squealing and smiling. And she's tracking eye contact. So yeah, really enjoying now. But yeah, those first 6 to 8 weeks was rough. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay. So I want to talk about support. So when my therapist asked me what kind of support I would need in postpartum, I was like, I don't know. I didn't know what I would need. Like, I knew I would need help with the baby, but I wasn't able to specifically communicate the help that I would need. Now, my mom was here. She was here for a week when we had our baby. And then obviously I had my husband. But people would say, well, let me know if you need anything, or is there anything I can do to help? And it's like, I wasn't able to communicate that. So, and I did have a doula as well. I didn't have her for postpartum care, but she did give me a couple postpartum visits. So one of the assistants, she gave, like, she was going through recertification, and she presented this list, and it gave like specific actions. And I was like, this would be helpful to, like, how can I help? What do you need? This. So take notes for your postpartum care. First of all, let me go through the referrals for postpartum care. Lactation consultant, really? Like, if you plan on breastfeeding, do it. Find a way. And like, my therapist gave me someone, and I didn't even need to meet with her. It was just like, here's some tips. Pump in the morning. You have the most supply in the morning. Pump in the morning, right? Again, the Haka, just collecting when you're leaking can be helpful, because I hated the actual pump, but the Haka works great for me. Can't remember anything else she said at this moment, but lactation consultant, really don't sleep on that. A therapist, honestly, yeah. if possible, have yourself a therapist. It helps. It really helps to just have that space, because you are going through a lot emotionally, physically, and mentally. Really have that space. In a postpartum depression support group or postpartum anxiety support group, being able to connect with other mothers, you know, we understand. We feel for you. We've been there. We're going through it with you. you know, so to have just that support, like nobody else understands. And even if, like my mom, it's been years, stuff has changed, you know, so have a support group, you know. And then also childcare. Like if someone is able to be there with you and just hold the baby, change the baby's diaper, feed the baby if you're bottle feeding, put the baby to sleep. If somebody can just give you a break, it's helpful. Okay, so the categories I had was infant mother bonding, mother care, and infant feeding. So for infant mother bonding, co-sleeping. So whether that's someone sleeping in the room with the baby, that's not necessarily you, or with bed sharing, you do have to be aware of who, because like I'm a light sleeper, my husband's a light sleeper, so I don't fear like my baby getting rolled over, but that is definitely like up to discretion. Again, I'm not an expert. It's not recommended for safe sleep. All those disclaimers, but somebody helping to break you. So like in the beginning, when she still only sleeps with somebody next to her, she don't sleep on her by herself. Like so she would be sleeping in my husband's arms or my mom's arms, and I'll be able to sleep by myself and just get like 30 minutes to an hour in, which was helpful. And then skin to skin contact. They only talk about skin to skin at the hospital, but you should be doing skin to skin when you get home too. Okay? Like babies don't know what clothes are. They were naked in your womb. And the warmth of your skin isn't always passed through your clothes. So get that skin to skin. They can feel your blood, your breath, your warmth. And it helps with oxytocin, which helps with breastfeeding. Somebody can help you swaddle. That is helpful. My husband and I still to this day have not figured it out. Like, well, it's also because my baby loves her hands. So her hands would always get loose. So it's like, what's the point of the swaddle? So yeah. But the nurses did it beautifully. I don't know. But yeah, if you can have someone help you with swaddling, that's a good one. Have someone help soothe your crying baby. So if they have songs, if they have techniques, whether that's walking, bouncing, dancing, a birth ball, what have you, the rocking chair, I don't know, they figured it out. Either have them soothe your baby or help you figure out how to soothe the baby. Bathing the baby, helping that. That was just terrifying because she was so tiny. Like, I think we waited a week until her umbilical cord stump came off, but that was terrifying, and she was screaming the whole time, and it was a lot. And then you also want to capture the moment. It was just a lot. But now at 11 weeks, she's comfortable in the bath. So yeah. Have somebody change the sheets on your bed. Like, bruh. One, again, like, well, no, it's covered in stuff now because she's older. But just like having someone change the sheets in your bed, like, is helpful. You're tired. Depending on what happened with your delivery, you might not even be able to move as much. So have somebody change them sheets. Let down the independent woman. You don't have to do it. Delegate. Ask somebody for help. Your birth story and pictures. So this is from my doula. So they were able to capture that and share that with us. So that was really nice. So yeah, definitely make sure you're documenting. I didn't think that I would want it documented, but it was nice to reflect and go back. Now, if this video cuts off, again, part 1 and part 2, remember to check out part 2. I'll link the video in the at the end of this one. So make sure you check out the rest of that. I'm just going through the other kinds of postpartum care and postpartum support that you may need. And remember to check out my other mommy fever videos, especially my childbirth experience and breastfeeding and bed sharing. Okay, now let's keep going. Mother care, helping you to shower or bathe. A postpartum massage is great. If they can like gift card you one to go get a postpartum massage, beautiful. They can give it to you themselves. Hopefully they know what they're doing. Light housekeeping, wash dishes, get groceries, cook, do laundry, sweep, mop, like clean the bathrooms, like bruh, like stuff still needs to get done in the house, right? So help you. Cooking and cleaning is like the biggest thing. And when I say cooking, I mean having like prepared frozen meals, giving you DoorDash money, or actually ordering it for you, or cooking like on the stove and stuff, and then cleaning up after, getting groceries, like I said, like running errands for you. Definitely. Like I needed prescriptions from Walgreens. We had to go to do Target runs. So like definitely helping with errands. If you have other children, helping with older siblings is definitely needed. And then with infant feeding, helping you with different breastfeeding positions, with engorgement, having that warm compress, giving you that massage, helping you with your latching with your baby, helping you with pumping as well. Like my husband has to, when I'm sitting there with the baby with the pump, he'll take the pump or the haka and put it in the freezer and stuff like that. Helping you with storing the breast milk, the bags and all that stuff, or, you know, mixing formula for you. So that's my specifics for postpartum care. Let me know what other things that you needed for postpartum care in the comments below. I really think we need specific descriptions to be able to communicate to our loved ones who do want to help but don't necessarily know how or in which way. So what kind of postpartum care did you need? What would have been helpful? And then what was your postpartum journey? Like what was the thing that would have helped you the most to know, right? Because again, all this information I did not know. I did not understand. Okay. And I think we need to be talking about this. Like we need to be talking about this. This is hard. And having your cute little baby it's hard to appreciate that when you're in the thick of it. You come out, but it's hard. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and watch more of my long form videos, any video over a minute, to help me get monetized. We need to have these conversations, and black faces, not blackface, but like people with, black people, your face. We need representation, y'all. Basically, all that to say. But all right, you have a beautiful day. Take care of you. Light and love.